Today's movie review, Rise of the Guardians. Whoa, Rise of the Guardians, done by DreamWorks, almost the same team as How to Train Your Dragon. So, I had expectations, especially with a Russian Santa Claus with tattoos of naughty and nice. Plotline, the Guardians are Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Sandman. And things are going not well for them because the boogeyman is back in town and they need help. And off of all the people that they can recruit, or the man in the moon says to, is Jack Frost. And they recruit him and things happen because boogeyman's just like, I'm gonna win the world. Like, make kids not believe in you. That's pretty much the plot. Jack Frost. His costume design and character design is very different from your typical Jack Frost. Because, I mean, when you think of Jack Frost, he's a snowman. And Jack Frost in Rise of the Guardian ain't a snowman. He's just a kid with white hair and a stick. Or even, what was that? Or even that Tim Allen Santa Claus one had Nick Frost in it. Or was it Jack Frost? Jack Frost played by some dude, I forgot his name. But now, in Rise of the Guardians, you have Jack Frost, who's a good guy. So what I like, I'm gonna say this film looks really great. Really great. Like, there's so many details that I would say they sort of wasted their time on, and they could have done something else. But I do appreciate how awesome some of the stuff looks. Especially if you've seen the film, I am talking about the scene where Jack Frost comes out of the ice rink. I mean, frozen pond. Detail and reflection animation on his, like, I guess, cloak or shawl or something is crazy attention. I mean, how it glitters in the moonlight and how the reflection works. And it goes beyond that. Like, there's a lot of details where it's just really nice. And the character design for, like, Tooth Fairy was cool. I mean, it didn't conform to, like, the fairy we would think of, like, the human form with wings, but super tiny fairy, like Peter Pan fairy. But it's like, she's an actual monster, pretty much. You got the Easter Bunny who has boomerangs, which I don't really get. You got Santa Claus who's super Russian and has swords. This was a really chill movie in the sense where it's going back to your childhood and trying to, like, remember those things. And the storyline goes with that too. It's like just remembering them makes them exist. How the film was shot where, oh, what am I saying? Like, it was enjoyable in the sense where it really touched to your childhood, as in, like, yeah, when you were a kid, these things existed for you. Well, for people, not for me. But anyway, like, it talked about how when kids don't believe, they don't exist. And it really addressed how for this film, you have to believe that they exist for it to work. Like, oh yeah, I wish these things happened, because I mean, if these guardians were out there to protect kids, it'd be fun. So I must say the disbelief in this film that they exist is pretty stretching it when you have, like, Santa Claus who's super golly and jolly and happy, having tattoos and have swords and fights off, like, shadow demons. It's kind of stretching it for me, and pretty much broke the stretch with Easter Bunny chucking Easter eggs as weapons. That was really hard to just, I don't know, I couldn't. So yeah, like, beyond that, there's a lot more stuff that they didn't really show in the trailer, which is great in the film. And Jude Law as the boogeyman was pretty crazy. So what I didn't like, the pacing of this film is kind of weird. It felt like there was a lot of times where it's just dragged and I'm like, where is this going? Or how the children plot wasn't clear in the beginning, in a sense where it felt like Jack Frost's problems were the pinpoint of this plot. And yeah, like, just, I don't know, it felt somewhat cliche in a sense where the good guy sort of like struggling with, am I really a good guy or a bad guy? And the ending was just kind of like, oh, pretty crazy. And I don't know, it just felt, the fighting was just really bad for me, because I don't know, it just felt weird, like, these guardians killing things is sort of like, you're protecting kids and you're killing things. But though, I have to give it props for the animation, because it was done really well. So yeah, like, if you catch it off DVD, check it out, because it looks awesome. Anyway, so that is my review on Rise of the Guardians. Pretty much I have nothing that much to say about it, as you can tell in this video. But yeah, I watched it, and I enjoyed my time, but it was just like, oh, finished, done, let's move on. So that's it. That's my review on Rise of the Guardians. You be the judge when you see it, and see ya.